All right, when it comes to magnifiers, a few things that I have discovered over the last 30 years. First off, these are both 3-by magnifiers. I have not had success with 4, 5, or 6 by magnifiers. The magnification is simply too much to get a quality truing or zero of the rifle without the reticle being just in a grossly odd position in the viewfinder. More on that in a second. So I stick to 3X. Second off, I think a red dot rifle without a magnifier is a joke. In my opinion, well, it's not. I would say my opinion, but it easily provable that a red dot only rifle is a 50-yard gun with PID, 100-yard maybe. And then anything past that is you're playing a game. Whereas with a 3-by magnifier, you can PID, phone, or Glock at 300 yards. So for the minimal weight that you add to the gun, very well worth it. I would tell you that the majority of people will not put a magnifier on their rifle, mostly because they don't know how to use one. So I'm hoping to educate you in that right here with this video. Okay, a couple things here. This is, and before I start, I do not work for Aimpoint. I do not get paid by Aimpoint. I think their magnifiers are the best. This is the Aimpoint 3XC, the cheapest Aimpoint magnifier that they make. MSRP $350. This is the Aimpoint 3X Mag-1, and that's very important because there is a 3X Mag. So I've gone the spectrum here. Cheapest Aimpoint magnifier, 3XC, cost $350. Most expensive Aimpoint magnifier, 3X Mag-1. No kidding, it's $1,000. I think it's okay, 975 or whatever. But I mean, massive difference. I will tell you right now, without spoiling the rest of the video, you do not need a $1,000 magnifier. It is not worth it. I have seen no advantage in optical clarity, zero. If I were you moving forward, I would only buy the Aimpoint 3XC at $350. It's all you need. It works outstanding. I have beat the ever-living crap out of it, no issues. The only problem, and I use that term very loosely, the 3XC from Aimpoint is not diveable. So if you're in the military and you're part of this club, okay, you've answered your own question. Now they make a 3XP, which it looks exactly like the 3XC, except it is diveable, and I want to say instead of 350, it's 450. That's what you should go with. I have not seen the advantage of this thing in any capacity. Okay, on that note, if we turn these things right side up, I find this super fascinating. The cheap Aimpoint has not only an adjuster that I can use a screwdriver or the back of a bullet case, but it also tells me which direction is up and left or right. Whereas the expensive one, recessed Allen head, which I have no idea which is up and right and left and all that, just mind-boggling to me. Next up, you'll notice that the ocular adjustments back here are marked. There's a mark on the body, and then there's a mark on the ocular adjustment itself. I would tell you this is the one thing a lot of people do not do or do not understand how to do on a magnifier. So here you go. This is set to my eyeball, and that's what you're doing when you do it. You're setting it to your eyeball. Here's the difference. If you take this and you spin it all the way to the left, instead of the red dot looking like a dot, it will look like a horizontal line. Then if you spin it all the way to the right, it will turn into a vertical line. You want to adjust these ocular adjustments so that when you are looking through it, it is a round, crisp red dot. That's what the ocular adjustment is for. The reason for the paint mark is these things get moved very easily, especially when they're flipped to the side and you're not using them on your rifle. Okay, next up, the mounting system. First off, I do not work for Scalarworks, and I never have. I think it's a great company. I will tell you this right now. The Scalarworks mounts, that's what these are. I got those. I found out about them by a student, and best discovery ever for 3x magnifiers, and here's why. I do not know how ScalarWorks does it, but their mounts are so true. And when I say true, I mean in parallel deviation to the rear of the red dot, that I have never had to adjust the magnifier to be zeroed with the red dot. And if you don't understand what I'm talking about, more on that in a second. So big fan of ScalarWorks. As far as other magnifiers, not a fan of EOTech magnifiers because the adjustments are external and they get turned real easy. Not a fan of Vortex magnifiers because they're so cheap I have broken them. I think this is going to be your best option. If you look at a 3XC at $350 and then a ScalarWorks mount, this is the ultimate. I mean, you are gaining so much by this, it's ridiculous. Okay, so now let's take just a slight pause here. So I'm just gonna set the camera down for a quick second so I can set my gun up with a magnifier on it, because I want to go over this zeroing procedure, which I would say is super confusing. Okay, so here we go. So now here's an upper Aimpoint Micro T2 with the BCM bomber mount. Just total side context right now. I swear to you, I think that this mount from BCM, because it uses a 1/2 inch nut just like a scope mount does, I swear it gives me an 1/8 MOA accuracy. I swear it does. It's bizarre how accurate every gun that I put this on, it's super interesting. Okay, so now if we look at this, the zeroing procedure for the red dot / magnifier combo. First off, ocular adjustment has to be set. And I would tell you another thing that I see mistake-wise for a lot of people is they'll have whatever mount height they have for the red dot, and then this one's not commensurate. You want these to be the same. You do not want one higher or lower than the other. You're setting parallax into the system, which is almost unrecoverable. So make sure whatever height you pick, you pick wisely. We want them to be the same height. Okay, once I have set ocular, I am then going to flip the magnifier to the side. Now, I would say this is going to be a little different for a lot of people. I am right-handed. I flip my magnifier inside instead of outside. So yes, I do flip the magnifier mount so that when I'm just rolling around, the magnifier's up against my body. It's not hanging out past the gun, snagging stuff, etc. That's just my personal preference. I've done that my entire career for 30 years, and that's the way I like it. Okay, so in the zero procedure, what we're going to do right now is we're going to zero the red dot. I like to do it at 100 yards, as most people know, on a 5-inch target, up, down, left, right, until I am looking with only my Aimpoint T2, and I put my dot inside the black circle at 100 yards. It's a 5-inch circle, and I hit. Once that red dot is zeroed, now I will put the magnifier into play. The first thing I will do now is I will take a 10-shot group at the 100 on the same target, aiming just normal. Red dot inside the black circle, go down, take a look at it. Now, typically what happens, and I say typically because again, with a ScalarWorks mount, I've never had it happen. So with other mounts I have. But when you go to the magnifier and then you go down and look at the target, it's off. It's a little high, low, left, right, whatever. Now what you need to do is you would make adjustments on the magnifier, up, down, or left, right, until when you're looking through here and the red dot is in the center of your target until it's hitting where you're placing it. Remember, this is already zeroed. Now we're adjusting this. I would say this, most people don't understand why. So I want to explain the why to you. That's the thing. This is like why this is un-Instagrammable, what we're doing right now. So here's the deal. If you look at the back of a red dot and the front of the tripler, very rarely are they parallel with each other. And the reason they're not parallel with each other is you wanted the ability to flip this to the side. And that makes sense to me. So the reason most magnifiers have an adjustment on them is so you can adjust for this. Now, if we take a look at this one in particular, if we look down in there at the rail, and I'm talking about where my finger is right now, the piece of Picatinny right there, and I'll try to do this on camera for you guys, and I line up the back of the red dot with that rail, it's pretty on as far as the front of the red dot. What you see in a lot of these situations is the front of the magnifier. The front of the magnifier compared to the back of the red dot is they're not parallel to each other. That's the reason you have to make these adjustments. I would also say that traditionally speaking, the owner's manuals of the magnifiers, all they say that these adjustments are for is to get the red dot optically centered when you're looking through the magnifier. And I would say for most people, that's probably okay. But most people aren't zeroing on a 5-inch target at 100 yards and truing a gun out to 300 yards or beyond. So it's possible, even with a ScalarWorks mount, that again, you've zeroed a red dot at 100, it's tight, you've gone to the magnifier, you're shooting, and you're making adjustments now on the magnifier, up, down, and left, right, until when you look through the magnifier and put your red dot into the same target, it's hitting the same. Now it's possible when you look through the magnifier, your red dot may not be optically centered. It may be a little bit, high, low, left, right, but it will not be dramatic. Now here's what I will tell you. If you go to a 6x magnifier, it will be dramatic. And in most cases, it will be so dramatic it'll be unshootable. Again, this is based off a real zero, and I consider a real zero to be 100 yards on nothing larger than 5 MOA. All right, so that's Magnifiers and Mounts 101. I hope that helps you guys out. Hit me up with any questions.